Hello. Cheese and onion quiche, baked cheese, pastry bottom, flipping gorgeous. Perfect for summer. I quite often make one, leave it in the fridge, then you can slice wedges of it, have it with some potato salad, stick a sausage with it and some chips or wedges or whatever's really. You can just heat it for a snack. I like to have ketchup with it, but obviously personal prefs are everything. Okay, so the trickiest bit is the pastry. I always do the same recipe. It's simple as, here we go. I do it in my food processor. I'm loving this. In my food processor, you can use a paddle mixer, you know, with the beater thing, or you can rub it in with your fingertips. Bit time consuming, but perfectly plausible. Righty tighty, so we are starting with 300 grams of plain flour already in my bowl, as is 150 grams of unsalted butter. And you can do it with salted butter, I often do, or pinchy salty. And then we're going to pulse. Quite simple, but quite important. So you want to pulse it, because the butter is chopped into little squares like that. So you want to pulse it until it goes like breadcrumbs. I shall begin. Be noisy. Ooh, technical hit. Yeah, it's nearly there, darlings. That's about it, really. I will bring it over and show you. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's just, they're not big lumps of, it's literally just breadcrumbs. To that, I'm literally, I'm going to say literally again, literally going to just put some cold water. Not much at all really. I think in my recipe on my blog I say between 5 and 6 tablespoons. I just whack it in, but here we go, let's do it proper wee. Right, I'm going to stick it on completely now. One, two. Right, it starts to rumble. And that means it's coming together, and so that was 3, wasn't it? So just, I'll show you. Starting to get big lumps in it, yeah? So I know I might need to add one more. And you only want to mix it as much as you can get away with. There you go. Big lumps. So when it gets to this stage, I just tip it out onto the work surface. I'll dip you down. Get rid of all my whatever. Just stick it out like that. And then just bring it all together. Bash it down a bit. And then just knead it. Wow, you know, bring it together, give it a bish bash bosh till it gets together like that. And then I am a little bit controversial here, or naive, or uneducated, any of the 3. I just go for it. I just roll it out. I don't refrigerate. So I will put some little bit of flour. I think we can all much pretty pretty much even. Get hold of flour now, can't we? So a little bit of flour. I'm no roller. However, it just seems to be fine like this, she says. Just keep moving it about so it doesn't stick. I think that's really the key, because if it does stick, then it's a real pain in the bum. I've got my dish here, which I think is about 10 centimetres wide. Big. So you can see this is a bit, I kind of do that, that looks nearly there. So obviously I'm just try to get a bit round. It's not the end of the world. It has stuck a bit. So I'm going in now. It's about 1/2 centimetre thickness. So I'm going to start with this end because it looks like that's it. Get my what's it ready. Keep rolling. Use my belly fat, push it there. Okay, can you see? There we go. Push it down in. There you go, darlings. It's so easy. It isn't easy, but once you've done it a couple of times, it sort of is easy. The reason I use this amount of pastry is you've got a lot left over. If it was more exact, then it would really matter if it didn't reach to the edges and stuff, because you wouldn't have so much to play with. But because it's generous, it works. Easy peasy squeezy. There you go. Okay. Now, hello. I push it forward. So then I literally just say to my daughter's got a thing about jam tarts. Put it to one side and she can make 3 or 4 jam tarts. Now I prick the bottom with a fork. This stops bubbles forming, so actually I better go back down. Wallop, 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 wallop. Ouch, 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 ouch. Yeah? Get my beans. It's all happening. So here are my baking beans, and I have a liner, cake liner, paper liners I use. These are so easy. Let's get one of those. Open it out. Tip your beans in. Bake it at 190 for about 15 minutes. And you want it to beginning to go golden. You don't want it to catch on the outsides, because then by the time it's cooked, they are too dark. So go steady, guys. Okay, I'll show you a bit. Hello. Right, we are out of the oven. So brown around the edges, firm on the inside. Now a little trickaroonie is to paste it with my 3 beaten eggs in here, just to seal up the holes, just like this. Brush it and let the egg form a seal. Like so, and then I'm going to put it back in the oven, same temperoonie, for about 5 minutes, okay? And I'll see you for the cheese, Louise. Okay, we're ready, we're sealed. So in here I have 3 medium eggs that I've sealed with the pastry thingy with, and then I've got 280, 300 grams, whatevs, of cream cheese, and I've put them together. I've put a big bit of salt in. I'm just using a whisk and I'm whisking, haha, just to mix the two together. Then I've also got 100 grams of cheddar cheese, strong, mature, otherwise you won't get such a cheese hit. Let's face it, cheesy quiche is really about the cheese. And I also have 1 large onion, 2 medium onions in half moons that I have already cooked till they're just starting to go brown. Okay, and they go on the bottom. Lovely. I've cooked those in a tablespoon of olive oil and a generous teaspoon of butter. And then we're going to pop the cheese in on top. Yeah, baby. You know it, you know it, you know it. And that's it. I'm going to pour this in. I don't use cream. I love this cream cheese. It is just as nice. When I say just as nice, it is nicer. 100%. It's nicer than using cream. It's not as rich. It doesn't have that rich thing that's a little too much after about the 9th mouthful. This you can just eat more because it's just so easy on the chops. So I'm just going to pour it in. You don't even have to put it near the oven and slide it in because it's not too, the liquid isn't too much. But what will happen is it'll puff up. Oh God, look at that, darling. I'll just get a scraper. Scrape it in. It's a good way to use up any spare egg yolks if you've made meringues. Just thought of that and I've got a couple in the fridge. Too late now. Okay, a little bit of a swizzle-rooner and then I'm going to bake that. It's at 180. I can't remember how long for. I would suggest 20 minutes. But go over to my blog, Apply to Face blog, have a root about on the old website under Cheese and Onion Quiche. I've also got a quiche Lorraine on there, which is just as fabulous. All right, darlings, I will show you when it's all gorgeous. Okay, here we are. Here she is. More to the point. I'll lift her for your perusal. So, oh, can't tell you how good she smells. Cheesy, pastry, with a whiff of onion. So, she is best served warm. So, you can let her cool, slice a wedge and eat, you know, within sort of 15, 20 minutes. Or you can, as I do, make it, let it cool and have it in the fridge and kind of microwave it as you go. In the summer, I like to have one of these, not all the time, but quite a lot of the time, and some potato salad always in there with some coleslaw. And then you can just rustle something up really easy. It's the equivalent of kind of batch cooking in the summer, really, for me. Okay, enjoy this baked cheese. Toodle.